I'm Dennis McEntire, General Manager of Newton Utilities, and I'm excited to be here today with two of our outstanding employees, two excellent linemen, Darrell Brown, with over 16 years service as a crew leader on the electrical crew, and Nick Cameron has just completed his 8th year with Newton Utilities as an apprentice lineman. Darrell, I'll start with you. Tell me what your role as a crew leader
As an electric crew leader, I have the responsibilities each morning of the task of going out each day, changing poles, fixing wire. We're on call. We're on call 24/7 to have any repairs, any storm damage.
Great. And I know you didn't always be on the line crew. Tell me what other jobs you've had at Newton Utilities.
I started at Newton Utilities on the meter reader, in the meter reader department. Moved up to crew leader there. I think I spent 6 years there, and then moved over to the line crew. Decided to do this as the best thing I ever done.
And what made you want to be a lineman?
I can tell you about the first week when I came to work here, I saw the guys leaving out in the trucks. And I always thought, man, that'd be a neat job. They get to play with some big toys and big equipment. And I don't know, the more I got into it, the more I thought it would be a really good career and opportunity for me to do.
And Nick, you're an apprentice lineman. What role do you play as an apprentice?
So as an apprentice lineman, I basically have the same job duties as a lineman. I'm just still in the learning process. So, I mean, there's no limitations on what I can do. It's just what I feel comfortable with and what my crew leader feels comfortable with.
Yeah, well, good. And the same question to you. You didn't start off on the line crew. What jobs did you have?
So I worked with the facilities and grounds for approximately 2 years, and then I ended up leaving that and going to the water and wastewater side, and I did that for approximately 2 years.
And similar reasons you wanted to be a lineman as Darrell?
Yes, sir. Well, I always felt good for not going to college, and this is kind of like college for me,
Yes.
Except for I didn't have the debt, and the salary was good, so it was rewarding.
Great. So Darrell, you've been a lineman for some time and now crew leader. Tell me the process to becoming a lineman, what it takes.
Well, you start off as a groundsman. You're on the ground, you're watching what goes on. You'll go through a 3-year apprentice program. You have to have a certain amount of hours before you can become a lineman, and I would say almost 5 years is about an average about what it takes to become a lineman.
Now, Nick, you are the most recent graduate of lineman training school. What was the most difficult part along the journey so far?
The most difficult part would probably be my B-Lab or the apprentice school, just because you have to think and you have to have the physical part. So your B-Lab is when you have to climb poles and basically construct power lines off hooks. So it's a lot of thinking. You have to get your body in awkward positions, and it's like I said, it's mental and physical, so it's pretty tough.
Electrical linemen have always been listed nationally among the most dangerous professions in the country. Darrell, talk to us a little bit about some of the risk of being a lineman.
Well, obviously, electrocution, number one. The elements that we work in there's a lot. Ice storms, hurricanes, cold, hot. It can become very dangerous, but electrocution is probably one of the biggest. I would think, as far as what we do, we have rubber gloves, we have rubber materials that keep us safe. Our job can be safe, but there is no shortcuts with our job. It's definitely, you only get one mistake with our job.
Nick, it's become second nature to Darrell because he's been a lineman for a good while and crew leader. You just going through the process now and finishing the coursework. Describe to us, both from the company and education-wise, how do they approach teaching young linemen to work safely?
So from the company standpoint, we have safety meetings as a whole company that we do, with our safety program, and then Electric Cities of Georgia has safety meetings that we meet with just our department. So we talk about accidents that might have happened, or we talk about anything from anything pertaining to do with our job, to keep us safe. Like Darrell said, we have, they test our rubber gloves regularly more than anyone else in any other city that we know. we do that every month. And then, like you said, testing all the rubber goods and all that keeps us safe.
As you well know, a big part of our culture at Union Utilities is giving back to the community, being involved in the community. And I know both of you have been involved in outreach, Darrell, especially you with our school system. When you talk to students, tell me what you try to convey to them and what kind of interest you hear from students.
We go to at least 10 different schools within the city limits. We have been to others. When we go in to talk to the kids, we mostly preach about electrical safety. That is one of our main things we do. We do explain the job. There is a big need and demand for linemen, so we really try to encourage the younger kids to get in. Me, myself, I did not know about line work, and I guess if I would have known more about it, I would have went that path a little bit earlier, but we try to encourage the kids to do it. And Union Utilities, I give them props for letting us do it because it really does make a difference.
Great. Nick, we do other things other than just talking to students. What are some of the other ways that we can have outreach in our
Well, we
community?
actually show a lot of students through the Central Education Center. We do the World of Works every year. So we are able to take, the bucket truck, and Darrell actually built a overhead power line and underground power line where they're allowed to, participate in that. We also help buy kids Christmas, along with other departments. We're able to give back to the community that way.
Okay, thank you. We spend a lot of money and time. Y'all spend a lot of time maintaining our system and keeping it reliable. But unfortunately, with storms, both here and other places, it's not always possible to keep the power on. Nick, tell me some of your experiences about working in trouble.
So, obviously you have, the elements. It's scary, at times, working in the dark or the rain, you can't see in the wind, but it's rewarding, when it's tough actually going to do it, but once you get the lights on, you hear people cheering and you hear customers giving you cookies, or, it makes you feel good.
Now, Darrell, I know you have gone to other cities.
Yes.
Describe that experience to us and what the routine is, how long you work, and what your living situation is.
Well, it all depends. A lot of times if we go off on storm, we won't have electric when we go there. We're heading in, everybody else is heading out. We go there, sometimes we won't have power, and we do try to get things back on as quick as possible, the main circuit. Working at the other cities, it can be a challenge sometimes, but most of the time all of our specs are the same, how we build, and most trouble that we have here is the same as any other city. We've seen it before, and we can handle it.
Thank you for sharing with us about your jobs. Let me switch gears just a little bit and talk about your personal lives. Darrell, I know you and Amanda have 3 wonderful young boys, but something I'd like for you to talk about is your sideline, which is bowfish guiding and alligator hunting. How in the world did you get involved with that?
I don't know. I started the alligator hunting. I was 22. My uncle taught me how to do it. I decided to pursue the hunting in Georgia, and everybody I knew wanted to go once I went. So I came across and I said, I'll start taking people. Bought an expensive boat and went out.
What is the largest alligator that you have been able to find so far?
We currently have the Georgia state record right now, and he measured 14.2.
And the name of your business is what?
Lethal Guide Service.
Lethal Guide Service. And I can attest to how great he is because I too was a client and killed an alligator. Nick, I know you have 2 beautiful young children. Describe to us what stages of their lives are and a little bit about your personal life.
So my son is 5. He just started kindergarten. I have a 1-year-old daughter.
Great. Well, thank you very much for sharing with us. Thank you for what you do. You are excellent employees, and I have enjoyed this time. And thank you for viewing this video and your interest in Union Utilities. And as always, if you have follow-up questions or would like more information about us, please follow us online at unionutilities.org.